Alright. So we got a request from Prince Vibes to this one, because apparently fucking nobody's touching it for reasons. Alright, so what do we got? Okay, so this is IRL's title match. I thought you guys just had a 3-way title match for the heavyweight. Oh, no, that was Punchline. Okay, cool. Heavyweight title match. Marco versus Baby Pink / Crow. Okay, so it's confirmed that Baby Pink is Crow. Alright, cool. What else? 5 bars. Just the standard categories. 5 bars. Okay, I hope this one isn't too long to get through. Let's have a look. All comments. Where are we? Okay, there's Marco's verse. And there's Baby Pink's verse. Alright, Marco. It's Marco versus Snake, Crow, whatever the fuck your name is. Look, your lines isn't made for the tussle. This guy tripping like switching different states is his hustle. Like an overweight bizzit, like an overnight bizzit. I'll have arms around this bitch, but we ain't laying to cuddle. Some are grippers, pulling from the waist as we scuffle. The 9 lifting, but the text I'm sending ain't an Amber Alert to tell your baby in trouble. I've skinned Snake for the belt and used his face as the buckle. You're gonna have to rap today. Even if your rap's okay, you're gonna die for your speech. They saying Crow flew the coop to the sky at its peak and still couldn't rhyme and compete at the height that I reach. You ain't as high as the king. No way this featherweight is flying with me, cause dude's beak is too weak. This bird is still trying his wings, trying his swings. Yeah, who ride with this geek? Who the fuck is a OG Dope Nation? Those the lames you claim? You jumped ship on Kef when the tides were high and didn't even try to save their wave. Listen, David Blaine, cause it was magic when Crow turned into rhymes and now it's his baby name. Thinking if he'd shed skin for a new look, that would mean he's growing, but all it shows is how easy Snake will change. Pussy, don't play this game. You all should watch this warning shot as his drive gets stuck. Pussy, don't play this game. You all should watch this warning shot as his drive gets stuck. Like cars that stop in a parking lot, cause the blade that I keep tucked will carve in spots like marking blocks that's drawn on rocks. And I'll give you the finest cuts like a partnered stocks of auction slots at barber shops, how I line you up. Try your luck, get your lip split, dipshit. Thought you was a big fish, but you're just a shrimp dish. This it? Lake or an ocean, I'll let you pick, bitch. And baby will go from bathing in bubbles to seeing how fish swim. Chick flick. Hit you right in your heart like you're offended, or click click, bullet stuck in your head. This an interest, the shit stick. That's an interest, the shit stick in the back of your mind. You won't forget this. Alright. Marco going a bit fucking bananas with the internals and the flow there. Pretty nice. Okay, Baby Pink. Verse me. Hang on, guys. What's up? Oh, cool. Hey, sweetie. Dad's recording. Okay. Enjoy your video. Back with you soon. Alright, verse me. I'm murking this guy, even though this is a late drop like an Uber working at night. Vibe said he's needing a true champ, so Marco about to get stomped away. That's how you deal with a foot cramp. This is a 1 hour script, but it'll still produce a dead faggot. So when Mars covered with blood, you'll know why they call it the red planet. Even at your prime, you're still getting that whipping, cause verse me, you'll need your best man, wedding traditions. I'd just like to point out, dead faggot, dead faggot, dead faggot. This is the great thing about audio, you can say whatever the fuck you like and Facebook censor bots can't touch you. Right, this 1 hour script, but it'll still produce a dead faggots. When Mars covered with blood, you'll know why they call it the red planet. Even at your prime, you're still getting that whipping, cause verse me, you'll need your best man, wedding traditions. Verse K, that kid's skilled with the Glocks. We didn't even see that boy trying. He didn't even need to lift a finger with the text, that's voice typing. You were rattled and frightened, cause ever since K joined Untouchables, Moon has turned that boy into a monster. It's like you were battling a lichen. Sam had you going from number 2 to number 7. I'm saying that your bars are whack. That's why the pulse had you dropping like fainting from a heart attack. So we should talk about how you've been acting like a baby at the next meeting. At this rate, the only time you'll be close to the top is when your mother's breastfeeding. I'm sneaky with the breastfeeding. I don't know why the fuck I said feeding. It's early in the morning. I'm only on my second coffee. I'm sneaky with the blades. All I do is hack and slash. You'll see why they call me Snake when I stab your back. Lol, he can't KO me in this little sparring. We'll never see this pussy taking baby out like the bitch is barren. Little sparring. Bitch is barren. It doesn't really work. You've either got to say, barren, sparring. Sparring. He can't KO me in this little sparring. We'll see why the bitch is barren. I guess you could kind of work it out. You could kind of make it work if you were a fucking Texan with a fucking serious head injury, maybe. I don't know. I'm sure it probably works in your accent and your fucking head, but that was kind of a clunky closer, unfortunately, in my accent. Alright, content. Marco, look, your lines isn't made for the tussle. This guy's tripping, like switching different states is his hustle. Okay, tripping, taking trips, like switching different states is his hustle. Yeah, I'll get rid of the ad for you. There you go. Like an overnight visit, we'll have arms around this bitch, but we ain't laying to cuddle, so okay, you'll have him encircled with firearms. Cool. Some grippers pulling from the waist as we scuffle. The 9 lifting. But the text I'm sending ain't an Amber Alert to tell you the baby in trouble. Okay. Text I'm sending ain't an Amber Alert to tell you the baby is trouble. I get that. That's nice. I don't understand why 9 has quote marks around it. The Amber Alert system is unique to the United States, so just be aware of that, Marco. Like, if you start getting, like, people overseas in an international audience, so, like, kind of, we have, like, a surface level awareness of how your Amber Alert system works. They can send out, like, statewide texts to everyone's phones, letting people know to be on the lookout for, you know, terrorism alerts or fucking an abducted kid or whatever. But if the 9 is supposed to be like a level 9 or something, just be aware that an international audience gets more lost the deeper you dive into the details. And if you stick to just the surface knowledge, we'll get it. But if you start getting into detail, we start scratching our heads. I was skinned Snake for the belt and used his face as the buckle. That's fucking mean. That's just... I was skinned Snake for the belt and used his face as the buckle. That's fucking retarded. I like that. You're going to have to rap today. Even if your rap's okay, you can die for your speech. They say in Crow flew the coop to the sky. You're going to have to rap today. Even if your rap's okay, you can die for your speech. Nice Maltese. And it's kind of aggressive, but it's not saying a lot in terms of, you know, like a wordplay or a double entendre or anything. They saying Crow flew the coop to the sky at its peak and still couldn't rhyme and compete at the height that I reach. It's kind of nice when you think about it. Saying Crow flew the coop to the peak of the sky and still couldn't rhyme and compete at the heights that I reach. So Marco's saying, you know, he's in low orbit, or he's in fucking high orbit. Like, dude's outside the atmosphere. That one?
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you.
No problem, sweetie. Which is pretty cool imagery. You ain't as high as the king. No way, this featherweight is flying with me. Okay, so he's introduced the sky and the height. Now featherweight. Dude's beak is too weak. this bird is still trying his swings. So, you know, you can read that both ways. Like, this opponent is a featherweight. He can't compete with me. Dude's mouth is too weak. You know, like his rhyming is too weak. And you can also read it the other way. You know, this baby bird isn't flying because it's only 2 weeks old and still trying its wings. That's pretty nicely constructed. It's pretty nicely constructed, and it's one of those bars. It's one of the bars that kind of builds up to a natural conclusion quite nicely. Yo, who ride with this geek? Who the fuck is OG Dope Nation? That's a good question. I've asked myself that many fucking times. People's hashtags be fucking out of control, yo. Those lames you claim you jumped ship on Kef when the tides were high and didn't even try to save their wave. I don't fucking keep up with crew drama bullshit. I think fucking internet crews is cosplaying it being fucking. It's either cosplaying it being NWA or it's cosplaying it being Crips and Bloods, either of which is just nerdy as fuck. So I don't do crews and I don't keep up with that shit. But Marco's smart enough to just like skim the fucking surface detail here. So I don't need to have followed the shit to keep up with what Marco's saying here. So, you know, Baby Pink used to be in Kef. He left when the tide was high and they were in trouble and they were foundering and going under, and, you know, abandoned his fucking internet crewmates in their darkest hour. Which is exactly what people in fucking internet crews do, which is why I don't fuck with them. Listen, David Blaine. David Blaine. I automatically misread that the first time as David Bain, who was a New Zealander who murdered his entire fucking family, or was accused of it, and then spent the next 20 years in jail. Okay, he's a magician. Where are we? Where are we? Listen, David Blaine, because it was magic. It was magic when Crow turned into rhymes, and now it's this baby name. Oh, right, because it was magic when Crow turned into rhymes. Crow's not also rhyme scheme Nooch, is he? What? No, I'm a little confused, but... And now it's this baby name. Okay. Thinking if he'd shed skin for a new look, that would mean he's growing, but all it shows how easy Snake will change. That's quite nicely done. Yeah, the whole coming back with the fucking new name, Snake shedding its skin. That's a pretty nice angle. Pussy, don't play this game. You should watch this warning shot as his drive gets stuck. Like cars that stop in a parking lot. The warning shot as his drive gets stuck. So like Marco's saying, like his forward momentum, his progression ends here. Like cars that stop in a parking lot. You know, not the most amazeballs double entendre or metaphor or simile, but it's okay. And the multis are fucking nice, flow's nice, because the blade that I keep tucked will carve in spots like marking blocks that's drawn on rocks, and it'll give you the finest cuts like a patented stocks of auction slots at barber shops who will line you up. That's a lot of multis and a lot of nice internal flow. But does it say anything meaningful, or does it make sense? Hang on, let's see. The blade that I keep tucked will carve in spots. Okay, it'll fucking carve chunks out of you, like marking blocks that's drawn on rocks. It'll give you the finest cuts. Oh, finest cuts rhymes with line you up. your flow falls off a little bit here. Things start getting a little bit stretchy where or kind of like your internal multis start overshadowing your end rhymes a little bit, if you get what I mean. And I'll give you the finest cuts. Like, I partnered stocks of auction slots at barbershops. How I line you up. Alright, okay. The finest cuts. Okay. So you are selling stock options on auctioned time slots at a barbershop. That's how fucking popular this barbershop is. There are auctions for time slots, and Marco was selling stocks and options on that. Okay, that actually fucking works. Cool. Try your luck. Get your lip split, dipshit. Thought you was a big fish, but you're just a shrimp dish. This it. Lake or an ocean, I'll let you pick, bitch. And baby will go from bathing in bubbles to seeing how fish swim. Get your lip split, dipshit. Thought you was a big fish, but you're just a shrimp dish. This it. Lake or an ocean, I'll let you pick, bitch. And baby will go from bathing in bubbles to seeing how fish swim. Yeah, that all works. Again, it's like, it's a lot of internal multis, and at first you think, well, he's just fucking rhyming words for the sake of rhyming words, and it's turning into gibberish. But no, actually it actually forms a reasonably coherent sentence when just, you know, said as a statement of fact. Alright. Baby will go from bathing in bubbles to seeing how fish swim. That's nice. I don't like fish swim though. Fish swim, chick flick. Lip split, dipshit, big fish, shrimp dish, this it, pick bitch, fish swim, chick flick. Yeah, fish swim kind of fucks up the rhyme scheme there. Kind of fucks up the rhyme scheme there. I wish it said something about turning them into fish sticks. Because fish swim, maybe it works in your local accent, but it doesn't work real well for me. Okay. Chick flick, hit you right in your heart. Like you're offended. Kind of weird structure here, the way he's saying, this battle will be like a chick flick, the way it hits you right in your heart. And he's also saying, I'll hit you right in your heart like you're offended. And he's saying it all in one sentence. Like, the sentence is kind of a three-way battle. Kind of a triple threat battle to see which metaphor wins. Or click click, bullet stuck in your head. This is an interest. The shit stick in the back of your mind. You won't forget this. Okay, so if you have an interest in something, the shit sticks in the back of your mind. And you don't forget it. You dismissed. Oh, I didn't realize you dismissed was part of the same rhyme scheme. That's a nice little outro. Okay. Pretty fucking tight, not gonna lie. There's like fucking oodles of internal. There's oodles of internal flow going on. And it's a pretty nice punchline. Yeah, there's a lot of internal flow going on. And there's some pretty nice punchlines in there. There's some filler as well, but there's some pretty nice stuff. Alright. Baby Pink content. Verse me. Hi, I'm murking this guy. Even though this is a late drop, like an Uber working at night. Late drop. Alright. Vibe said he's needing a true champ. So Marco better get stomped. That's how you deal with a foot cramp. So Marco about to get stomped away. That's how you deal with a foot cramp. Yeah, okay, that's how you deal with a foot cramp. But why is Marcus a foot cramp? I'm not getting the connection there. I'm murking this guy, even though this is a late drop, like an Uber working at night. It's a nice little punchline there. Or it's a nice double entendre. Late drop, Uber working at night. But I didn't really need to know that you're writing at the last minute. That's not really... I mean, I guess you're kind of flexing and saying, hey, I'm just going to do this at the last minute and put fucking zero effort into it and still stomp you. Which is kind of a flex, but it's also just kind of telling us that you're fucking disorganized. And it's not really saying much about Marco. Vibe said he's needing a true champ, so Marco about to get stomped away. That's how you deal with a foot cramp. About to get stomped away. That's how you deal with a foot cramp. I mean, that's nice, but you haven't explained why Marcus is a foot cramp. This is a 1 hour script, but it'll still produce a dead faggot. It's a 1 hour script, but it'll still produce a dead faggot. So when Mars covered with blood, you'll know why they call it the Red Planet. That's nice. Alright. You're taking a little bit of a liberty there, shortening Marco's name down to Mar. But okay, it works. So when Mars covered with blood, you'll know why they call it the Red Planet. That's cool. Even at your prime, you're still getting that whipping. Even at your prime, you're still getting that whipping, because versus me, you'll need your best man, wedding traditions. Getting that whipping, wedding traditions. The rhyming is a little sloppy there for me. But you'll need your best man, wedding traditions. It's okay as a double entendre. Verse K, that kid's skilled with the Glocks. We didn't even see that boy trying. He didn't even need to lift a finger with the text. That's voice typing. He didn't even need to lift a finger with the text. That's voice typing. Kind of more of the same theme here as I'm murking this guy, even though this is a late drop. So it's a little bit more of this flex, this I'm not even fucking trying and I'm still going to beat you. Some of these concepts would lend themselves probably better to a cipher or an album song than a battle. Baby Pink is doing a lot of flexing here that's not actually directly targeted at Marco. You were rattled and frightened because ever since Kay joined Untouchables, Moon has turned that boy into a monster. It's like you were battling a lichen. Oh, a lichen. Werewolf. Moon has turned that boy into a monster. Sam had you going from number 2 to number 7. I'm saying that your bars are whack. What have we got here? You were rattled and frightened because ever since Kay joined Untouchables, Moon has turned that boy into a monster. It's like you were battling a lichen. What the fuck do Kay or Moon have to do with this battle? Okay. You always want to be really, really fucking cautious of, I guess you're like trying to tell a narrative, but you're talking about people who aren't in this battle. So you're relying heavily on your audience. You're relying heavily on your audience keeping really up to date with fucking who's doing what with what crews and shit. Which is a mistake. I'm an OG veteran of this shit. I've been wasting my fucking time doing this shit for way too long. But I don't fucking keep track of this shit. So you're talking about two guys, Moon and Kay, who aren't in this battle. And you're talking about their crew affiliations and shit. Now, Moon has turned that boy into a monster. It's like you were battling a lichen. That's a nice concept. Moon has turned that boy into a monster. Like battling a lichen. That's a really nice concept. I just don't feel like it belongs in this battle. Because neither of the two guys you mentioned is in this battle. Sam had you going from number 2 to number 7. I'm saying that your bars are whack. That's why the pulse had you dropping like fainting from a heart attack. That's why the pulse had you dropping like fainting from a heart attack. That's nice. That's nice. So we should talk about how you've been acting like a baby at the next meeting. Next meeting of what? Of whom? When do we meet? Where do we meet? Why does nobody invite me? At this rate, the only time you'd be close to the top is when your mother's breastfeeding. Yeah, that's okay. I'm sneaky with the blades. All I do is hack and slash. You'll see why they call me Snake when I stab you back. Yeah, that's okay. But it's just tough guy flex. It's not, saying anything about Marco. And it's not saying anything terribly clever. One of the names you've used is Snake. Snake will stab you in the back. That's cool. But if you're using the name Baby Pink, why the fuck do you keep referring back to your other handles? Just pick one and talk about that. He can't KO me in this little sparring. We'll never see this pussy taking baby out like the bitch is barren. The rhyme doesn't work for me on that closer. But let's be really generous and assume it does. It doesn't work as a written rhyme, but let's be really fucking generous and assume it does and just look at the content. He can't KO me in this little sparring. Little sparring is forced grammar. Actually, it kind of pisses me off. You're forcing grammar to make a multi work, but the fucking multi doesn't even work. So that's a bit of a whoops. But okay, he can't KO me in this little sparring. We'll never see this pussy taking baby out like the bitch is barren. We'll never see this pussy taking baby out like the bitch is barren. Yeah, that's nice. I fuck with it. Fuck, I wouldn't have used it as a closer though. Because again, you're more kind of flexing about yourself than actually attacking Marco. Which has been a bit of a consistent theme in this verse. Let's go back and compare that again to Marco's. This guy's tripping, like switching different states. This is hustle. I'll have arms around this bitch. We ain't laying to cuddle. Grip is pulling from the waist as we scuffle. The 9 lift him, but the text I'm sending ain't an Amber Alert to tell you the baby in trouble. So this first bar from Marco is a little bit flexy flex and not so much talking about baby, but he's very much talking about what he will do to baby. So it works. So just having a wee reread of Marco's verse here. Lines isn't made for the tussle. This guy's tripping, like switching different states. This is hustle. He's talking about baby. He's talking about what he'll do to him. I'll skin Snake for the belt. Use his face as the buckle. You're gonna have to wrap that. Use his face as the buckle. That's really nice. Sorry, I keep having to pause and address a 4-year-old who was in a shitty mood because she stayed up all night having tantrums and neither of us has had enough sleep. Alright, I feel like Marco is more directly targeting baby in his verse for much of it, and I feel like baby is doing too much flexing and not enough direct attacking of Marco. And he's also failing to connect with setups for some of his stuff like this. Marco about to get stomped away. That's how you deal with a foot cramp. That's a dope as fuck concept. But you haven't given any explanation as to why Marco is a foot cramp. Like, it's a really vague metaphor. You haven't fucking set that up in any way. When Mars coupled with blood, you'll know what they call it the red planet. That's nice. You need your best man wedding traditions. It's okay, but again, it's relying on flex. Fuck, you totally should have swapped those two. When Mars coupled with blood, you'll know what they call it the red planet. Is fucking way harder than you'll need your best man, like wedding traditions. That's kind of lame, and that red planet one is kind of fire. You totally should have swapped them. Always end on your hardest shit. Skill with the Glocks, we didn't need to see what the boy tried, didn't need to lift a finger, that's a voice typing. Again, the concept's okay, but it's just kind of flexy flex. You're just talking about how fucking great you are, like you're in a cipher, instead of actually attacking Marco. And then, again, great concept. Moons turn that boy into a monster. It's like you're battling a Lycan. But K's not in this battle. Moon's not in this battle. Kind of weird. Again, the connections are loose. That's why the pulse edge are dropping like fainting from a heart attack. That's nice. Only time you'll be close to the top is when your mother's breastfeeding. Again, fainting from a heart attack is way harder than the breastfeeding line. You should have swapped them. And then stab you back. A little sparring. Bitches barren. I'm not enjoying that closer. The 9 lift him, but the text I'm sending ain't an Amber Alert to tell you that baby in trouble. Yeah, see, Marco's talking about what he's going to do to baby and the fact that baby's in trouble. And then he's saying you're going to die for your speech. You still couldn't rhyme and compete at the height that I reach. It's a little bit of flex in the middle there, but that's okay because it's just setting up for no way this featherweight's flying with me because dude's beak is too weak. This bird is still trying his swings. So there's a little bit of flex there in the middle, but then Marcus is actually laser focusing on his opponent at the close. And then he starts out the next bar. He's talking about baby, you know, who the fuck are the hashtags about. He's saying you're a bitch, you jump ship. And then he's talking about the name changes. Yeah, so he's talking about baby. Drive get stuck, cast at stop in the parking lot. Not really feeling that one. The blade I keep tucked or carved in spots like mark and blots that's drawn on rocks. I give you the finest cuts like a partner in stocks, auction slots, at barber slots, how I line you up. That's a little bit flexy flex, but fuck me, those internals. Try your luck, get your lip split, dipshit. Shrimp dish. Baby, you'll go from bathing in bubbles to seeing how fish swim. So again, it's very much directed at the opponent. Unfortunately, Marco finishes on some closer. Finishes with his closer on some flexy flex stuff. Click like bullet stuck in your head. There's an interest, the shit stick in the back of your mind. You won't forget this. It's kind of flexy flex because he's saying, you know, you won't forget this. But also it's a little bit more direct because he's saying, you know, there'll be shit stuck in the back of your head. So it's kind of a bit more aggressive. Marco's internal multis are just off the fucking chain. His flow is fucking super tight. Everything's a lot more directed at his opponent, and Pulse has you dropping like fainting from a heart attack, and Mars covered with blood. You'll know why they call it the Red Planet. Those are the only two really good punchlines that are actually really directed at Marco. Okay, like this battling alike and shit. If there'd been a more solid connection to why I should give a shit about these two people who aren't in this battle, that could have been fire. Baby's got some really fucking dope concepts that either need to be reworked so they're aimed more directly at Marco, or they're speaking about Marco, or they need to be used on an album song or in a cipher. So yeah, Baby's got some fucking, he's got some really nice fucking concepts, and he's got some nice rhymes, and in a different format, in a fucking in a cipher, in a cipher battle, or a Superman battle or something, or a fucking, you know, an on-beat diss that might have played better. But as a direct battle where two guys are trying to insult and belittle the other guy, Marcus is the one landing punches here that are actually fucking directed at the opponent. So yeah, Baby's done well. He's showing up, he's done his thing, and some of his stuff's pretty nice, as you'd expect in the final of a heavyweight title. But Marco pretty clearly takes this from me today. His internals are just off the fucking chain. His shit is much more clearly focused at his opponent. In a lot of places it feels like Baby Pink's dropping a cipher against a guy who was actually showing up to battle. So yeah, that's pretty fucking clear cut for me. Marco gets my vote today. Apologies for taking so fucking long to get to this point, but I am very fucking tired and need more sleep. But that's where we're at. Marco gets the vote today. Congrats.